Howard Webb, who we speak to probably 2 or 3 times a season, comes out with a line on certain situations that I actually like. Sometimes it's not about just the rule book, it's actually what does the game want. I don't think any football fan, I don't think anybody, any football manager, any player watching that at home is sitting there thinking, yeah, I think that's a red card. I think everybody in the game is looking at that and thinking, oh, come on.
I think it's a red card. I thought it was a red card when I first saw it. I think he's jumped in, he's caught him with his studs.
He wins the ball. Where's he supposed to put his foot after winning the ball?
But one thing you have as a player, and both of these played football will know, you have a duty of care to your opponent. And you can't leave your studs planted on somebody's ankle.
This week's 3-0 loss to Brighton sent every Chelsea fan into a headspin. Jason Cundy even swearing live on the radio on the sports bar. It was also enough for the Blues to sack Liam Rosenior, with them now on a run of 5 straight Premier League defeats without even scoring a goal. I mean, Ray, we were talking about it, how bad they were, but you're wanting to say the players were terrible as well. They got them out the door, really.
As much as the manager's to blame, and the manager gets all the blame sometimes, but the players have got to look at themselves as well. I mean, have a bit of pride in your own. How many thousands of Chelsea fans went up to Brighton, you know, and they want to cheer their team on, and they're looking at a performance which it was pathetic, if I'm being honest. If you're a player, you got to have that little bit of hunger to go out there with whoever you're playing for. It doesn't matter if it's got to be Chelsea, Spurs, wherever it's going to be. Go out and give it a go yourself, you know, because you're playing against opposition. You don't want to make a fool of yourself, but go out and have that little bit of desire to win the game. But Brighton could have been like 4 or 5 up in the first 20 minutes. I've never seen a poorest performance I've ever seen from Chelsea. I mean, it was. I'm not taking nothing away from Brighton because they was brilliant, but Chelsea were absolutely. With the players they had on the pitch, they've got to do better as well. And everybody's going to point a finger at Liam Rosenior. It probably was too big for him. There's no doubt about it. Everybody said that before, but it wasn't his fault. You know, he's trying to do a job. Obviously, the owners have put him in charge, and they want to probably be in charge of him as well, and trying to make too many decisions from upstairs, I should imagine. And it was never going to work. But I feel sorry for him a little bit because, you know, he's probably a toxic dressing room at the moment.
Yeah.
It's really hard for him. He's a young man. He's still learning his trade. And it's a hard job to go into to learn your trade, I promise you, Chelsea.
I mean, the Brighton defeat was an absolute mess. Chelsea fans, do the players owe your team a performance? Do they owe you a performance in the next game? You can give us a call this morning.
Well, you can't get a bigger game, can it?
Yeah.
Semi-final of the FA Cup. Now, you know, if they can get to the final, somehow win the final, then it's not a bad season for Chelsea. I mean, it's still well under par, but you still won a trophy in the season. So it's a situation now you need to get a bounce back from that poor performance at Brighton. But it's not an easy game. Leeds United, you know, they go to the end, and how they've got there in the first place, you know, a lot of hard graft against West Ham. It was an unbelievable game, that West Ham game. So it won't be an easy game for Chelsea, but the Chelsea fans need to see a little bit more from the players. Not the manager, the players have got to really step up now and say, look, come on, let's not let the fans down, which is the most important people who watch the games every week in, week out.
Chelsea fans, we're taking your calls. 03717 223344 is the number. Do the players owe you a performance? Let's talk about Jason Cundy. He said they have no choice but to deliver on Sunday in the FA Cup semi-final against Leeds.
Those Chelsea players own every single Chelsea supporter fan around the world a performance. And if they don't deliver, I'll be here on Monday evening, calling it as I called it the other day, gutless and spineless. I called it that on the other night against Brighton. And if they don't deliver, there's no excuse now. Whatever's happened between Rosenior and the club and the board and everyone else, right? That's happened. They've gone. He's gone. Those players owe Chelsea a performance, and they haven't delivered for weeks now. Now's your time. Wembley against Leeds. Turn up, deliver. You're paid a huge amount of money. That squad is worth a huge amount of money. Turn up, deliver a performance. And if they don't, I'll be here to call it again. All right?
Do you think they will?
Well, I don't know. I really don't know with Chelsea. That's the problem. You had. They started the season really well, didn't they? Everybody's saying, can they keep it going? But it's just too flaky, aren't they? You just don't know what Chelsea are going to turn up. Look, if you can't get yourself up for a FA Cup semi-final at Wembley, then you're never going to get yourself up for any game, because that is a massive game. You're one step away from that final, which is an amazing day for everybody. I mean, look, the semi-final will be amazing for the Leeds fans who come down and obviously Chelsea fans who go. But to get to that final is always. I was lucky to play many, and it's not just the players who play in the FA Cup final; it's the whole the club itself. Like the people behind the scenes you don't see, they get a day out as well. So if you can't get yourself up for that, and it will be a tough game because Leeds are in good form. They've got that really spirit to keep going, like they did against Bournemouth. They got the last-minute equaliser. So, they're going to keep going to the end. But Chelsea certainly have got to turn up, as Jason says there, because they do owe the fans, because that was so poor the other night, and they just want a reaction. And that's what they need now. And maybe, look, changing the money, they might get a reaction. I don't know.
And listen, you trust them in a final as well, because they won the Club World Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got big players. They've got big players who can handle big occasions. So I'm not saying Leeds players who can't, but it's a situation where they've just got to show that bit of desire. They've got to show when they put their shirt on, they can look in. Can they look into a fan's eye and say, "I've tried my best today"? Mm-hmm. Against Brighton, none of them could. None of them could.
They're lying at themselves.
Everybody who walked off that pitch, if you're a Chelsea player, would have said, "Oh, I could have done 25% bet more today for my team and my supporters," and they didn't. And that's why they lost the game so easily.
3 o'clock on Sunday. What version of Chelsea is going to turn up? Chelsea take on Leeds FA Cup semi-final. It's live for you here on TalkSport.
We've got to talk about Chelsea, your team.
Yeah.
Where's your head at the moment with what's going on?
Laura, you don't know what Chelsea's going to turn up. It's very strange. Listen, Chelsea, over the last 20 years, there's been managers come and go. There's always a drama. But the last 3-4 weeks, I think the fans have been really disjointed, disorientated with it, because they just felt like there's not been no bite in the team. And it ended up with Liam losing his job and a new era will start, So it's just, I think Chelsea fans they needed a performance today that they can hold on to for the rest of the season.